Good. Hi everyone, I'm Amavasya and I'm a co-founder of Unicorn Insight, Reiki Grandmaster, Angel Teacher, Dragon Teacher, and today on this podcast we have Dr. Ashwini Chive, our founder, with us. Hi Ashwini.
Hello. Hi, Anagha.
Today we are going to talk about something which many of us feel, but we may not fully understand, full moon, new moon energies. So, you must have felt like that these energies are very strong during these specific 2 days. Like something very strong is going on in your life, in the energies around you, in the nature. You feel the vibrations. So, Ashwini, why are these lunar days considered so special? So, what happens on these days?
Okay. So first and foremost, thank you, Anagha, for being with me on this podcast. It's so amazing to have you here. And wow, what a topic. How beautiful is this topic where you have asked me these questions about the full moon and new moon. And yes, these are indeed very sensitive times for all of us. And yeah, it's a very beautiful place to begin talking about this. So, as per the Vedic wisdom, the ancient Vedas, what they wrote about was moon or Chandrama governs our mind. Okay. And in mind, in Sanskrit, the word for mind is manas, right? So just as moon controls ocean tides, we all are aware that the gravitation force and all of that creates this kind of energetic vibration between moon and earth. And we also know that moon controls ocean tides. We all have learnt about it in school. But the moon, in addition to that, also governs and influences our emotional and mental tides. Now, the reason I'm saying emotional and mental tides is because our mind and emotions do operate in waves, just like how the ocean operates in waves. And typically, full moon, or what we call as a Sanskrit word for full moon, is Purnima, right? Purnima represents completion of a cycle, because the moon from its beginning, from being complete zero, it becomes a complete full moon. So it is a time for completion. It's also illumination, because when we are on the full moon is at its highest peak. There is so much light. There is this word in Hindi which we say Chandani Rat, which means actually where the moon is full and there is this beautiful moonlight in everywhere. There is illumination. So it's a great time for illumination. Also, emotional amplification, expansion of consciousness. Now, why emotional amplification? Because our emotions are running at all time high. You will be feeling the sensitive energies, and our consciousness is also at its highest. The energy is at its peak. Whatever we are feeling, it will be intensified. So, whatever emotion it is, it will be very amplified at the full moon. Now let us look at new moon, which is also called as the Amavasya. Okay, so new moon is all about stillness, because there is absolute stillness. There is no moonlight in the sky. It's a complete dark night. And just like how we talk about full moon in terms of going outward and illumination, the new moon is about inner turning, that is going inside. Also, new moon is where a new cycle of moon begins, and that's why we also call it a great time for reset. If you see, a lot of people write their abundance checks and on new moon. So it's a time for complete new reset, and it is the it is the place where you can plant the seed for a new energy. So to begin any new tasks, new moon is beautiful, because whatever we plant with the new moon grows. Okay, because the moon grows, right? It becomes a full moon. Just like that, it's a very good time for seed planting energy. They say that it's
So,
like
so basically, Ashwini, one is expansion
yeah,
and the other is inward reflection. So
perfect,
one is
perfect. You
looking
said it right.
out and one is looking in. Huh?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. You just summarized it in one sentence. So yes, the it is one is the expansion, the full moon is expansion and expression, and new moon is inward reflection, or what we also use the word as introspection, right?
So can you so basically I just want to know, why is it a good time to meditate? So, because many traditions, and nowadays we see all these influencers and all the spiritual teachers, they all have these meditations and all. So,
Yes,
why these traditions and why all these people, they have a
sure.
specific meditation on these special days?
Yes,
Can you
yes,
share that?
yes. Yes. So yeah, thank you for this question, because this is often what I know students have been asking us about, why is full moon and new moon special, and that's the reason we decided to come up with this podcast. So, like I said, the moon is associated with mind, right? Which is your manas is the word in Sanskrit. Mind becomes more sensitive between lunar peaks, right? Now, our body is 70% water, 70 to 75% of our body is water and fluids, right? Now, the gravitational pull, just the way it impacts the oceans, right? It also impacts ourselves, which is because our body is 70% water, and also our nervous system. You know, uh, Anagha, there were studies which were conducted that a lot of psychiatrists or the doctors, they experienced a lot of emergency cases during the full moon. There was a study this was done, and which is,
Wow.
it's not a coincidence. Yeah, it's not a coincidence that on a full moon the energies are amplified. So, but having said that, here I want to tell everyone who is watching, please don't be afraid of full moon and new moon, because I know many students say na that full moon, it's full moon time, oh my god, it's new moon time. So don't be afraid of that, but be aware of your emotions. And the reason we talk about meditations on these days is because it can calm your mind. So anyone who is feeding fear that, oh my god, it's going to be a full moon, don't be afraid, because when we are feeding on fear, we lose our power. Instead, how can we use that energy to channelize ourselves, is exactly what we are going to talk about. And why meditation is so important, because like I said, on full moon the intuition is heightened. A lot of subconscious patterns are also resurfacing, or we also say that spiritual practices becomes magnified. And on the new moon, it's exactly the opposite. The mind is naturally very quiet, and it is very easy to access deeper layers. Also, it's a very powerful time to close cycles, to time to let go and to set new intentions. You know, ancient yogis would fast and even chant or meditate or even observe silence on these days, because transformation can really happen very fast in these days. So that is why, these days are indeed very special.
So then that means moon supports the inner work which we are doing on ourselves.
Yeah, of course, moon does support the inner work, because it it opens a natural doorway or a natural portal.
Hmm. Okay. Ashwini, now can you share and walk us through the Hindu lunar calendar? And there are different full moons in the Hindu
Yes,
lunar calendar.
yes,
So,
yes, yes, yes. And
ex-
Anagha, if you remember, our grandfather used to always talk about this, right? Every full moon has a significance, and every full moon has this particular significance. And I remember I used to, me and Anagha, we used to sit with our grandfather, and he would talk about, okay, so the next Purnima is this Purnima, and that is the significance. So, that's a
so
very
explain us what are the names of these different Purnima and which
sure.
month they come in, huh?
Sure, sure, sure. Okay. So let's start with each of the full moons. Absolutely. We are going to begin with the month of Chaitra, which is where the Hindu New Year begins, and specifically Hindu New Year begins on this day called Gudi Padwa, which is the start of also the Chaitra Navratri. Okay, in North India, in many places, Chaitra Navratri is celebrated where we worship the goddess. It's also a great time for connecting to the energies of Shri Ram, because Shri Ram Navami falls in the month of Chaitra on the ninth day, the first half of it, right, which is the illuminated half of which is also called as Shuddha Navami. So if you look at Chaitra, now Chaitra typically is in March or April. You can look at the Hindu calendar to know when the month of Chaitra starts. So Chaitra is all about new beginnings and renewal. It is associated with Prabhu Shri Ram. spring awakening. And the beautiful part about this is Sri Ram's birthday is on the Navami, and Sri Hanuman's birthday is on the Purnima or the full moon. So the Chaitra Purnima is also called as Hanuman Jayanti because that is
Jayanti.
the day associated with the birth of Lord Hanuman. Okay. Let's go to the next one, which is Vaishak. Okay, Vaishak Purnima is also called as the Buddha Purnima, and this is associated with the birth of Lord Gautama Buddha, who was the ninth incarnation of Lord Vishnu. And this day stands for enlightenment and wisdom. And this is a very beautiful day to meditate. And I think in the East and in the Far East and in Southeast Asia, they also celebrate Vesak as one of the big
Yes, in
festivals, right?
Singapore, yes, we
In
have
Singapore,
Vesak.
they do. Right, right. So that's the Vaishak Purnima. And you see, both words are so similar, Vesak and Vaishak, right? Because
Yes.
it is Vaishak Purnima, which is the Buddha Purnima. And it is also celebrated as Vesak. You know how beautiful it is that all cultures come together and celebrate, something which is very similar to each other. So, well,
Yes.
that falls in April or May, depending on the calendar, but it is the month of Vaishak. Now, the next one is the month of Jeshta. Now, the Jeshta Purnima is also called as Vata Purnima. Okay, what is Vata Purnima? This was the day where, if you know the story of Savitri and Satyavan, where it was Satyavan's, he had almost passed over, where Yamaraj, the god of death, had almost come and taken him away. But his wife, Savitri, she was such a dedicated wife to him. She prayed to Lord and she almost told Yamaraj that, please give me my husband back. And he was so happy with her devotion, with her, they call as the Pativrata Dharma, or the her devotion towards her husband, that he gave life back to her husband Satyavan. And hence on that day, it is celebrated as the Vata Purnima, especially in Maharashtra. All women, they fast for their husband. So it's like the equivalent of Karwa Chauth, which is practiced in the northern parts of India. Karwa Chauth comes a little later in the year during the month of Ashwin, I think after Sharad Purnima. But Vata Purnima or Jeshta Purnima is the day which is fast, where women fast, and it's considered
Pray for
as a
the
very,
long life, yes, of the
yes,
husband.
yes, they pray for the long life of their husband. And they also say that they pray so that they will be blessed with the same husband in the next seven births, is what it is said. That's what the Vata Purnima has the significance. So that is the month of Jeshta. Typically between May or June it will fall. The next one, this is very special, and this is very special for all of us because the Ashada Purnima is also called as the Guru Purnima. Now, this is the time. Now, Ashad is where Chaturmas begins, because Ashadi Ekadashi, on the day of Ashadashi Ekadashi, it is called as Devshayani, where Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayana, goes into a 4 month sleep, his deep sleep time, or his yoga nidra time. And the Ashad Purnima is dedicated for the gurus, or our teachers, and it is dedicated to teachers, and it is also linked to Rishi Shri Veda Vyas, who is considered as guru, for to so
Guru
many
Purnima.
people. Yeah,
Yes.
and
Wow.
this is a time for gratitude and spiritual knowledge, where we thank our gurus or our teachers for all the wisdom which they have imparted on us. Because I think one of the most purest things you can give anyone is knowledge and wisdom, right? And without our gurus, I don't know where we would have been. So Ashada Purnima is celebrated as a Guru Purnima. So Ashada Purnima is in the month of June and July, if you look at the English calendar. Now let's go into Shravan. Shravan is the auspicious month of Savan, which is the very powerful month to, if you are a Shiv Bhakta, it's a very great time to pray to Lord Shiva, and it's all about devotion, purification. It's one of the most sacred months in the Hindu calendar. And the full moon on Shravan, it's one of our favorite festivals too. It is the Raksha Bandhan, where,
Rakshabandhan.
yes, it is the love between siblings, where siblings express their love for each other. And it is also in Maharashtra, we also celebrate it as Naradi Purnima. What is Naradi Purnima? Narad is coconut. So it was earlier considered that for the first 2-3 months from June to July, because Ashad is usually a month of heavy rains, and Jeshta, Ashad, and Shravan, there is so much rain that the oceans start becoming turbulent because of the rainy weather and the full sky.
Arabian Sea especially is
Arabian
very,
Sea.
very wild sea.
Wild
Yes.
and turbulent, yes. And you just put the coconut, you almost offer the coconut to ocean
Sea
god.
god,
Yes,
sea
sea
god,
god,
and
ocean god, also called as Samudra Devata. And you tell him that, if there is anything I can do for you, I'm offering this to you. Please shant ho jaiye. Please relax and become more peaceful so that we can have rest of our year with ease. And our father used to do that, right? So me and Anaga, we
yes,
used to go with dad, and dad used to always offer a coconut in the ocean, and you just pray to the ocean and you tell ocean god that, you
yeah.
know,
After that, the fishermen can take their boats out in the ocean and start their business again after the heavy
yes,
rainy season when, the business is not so good because it's very dangerous to go
yeah,
out in the ocean.
correct.
That's the scientific reason for it. And,
Absolutely, absolutely.
and
Yes,
yeah, the ocean calms down and
the
the
ocean
new season
calms down.
starts. Yes.
So it is called as Narali Purnima, and we also prepare something beautiful at home. It is called as Narali Bhat, where we make a rice with
Yeah.
sweet, yeah, and
The
sweet and
yummy
coconut.
jaggery. Yes, it's
Jaggery,
jaggery.
yes, yes, it's a very tasty dish, and we both love it. Our mom used to make really amazing
All the
coconut.
coastal people will know this. The
Yes,
Konkan coastal people
Konkan,
must.
yes, yes,
will-
yes. And otherwise, of course, we celebrate Raksha Bandhan for love between
All over
siblings.
India, we celebrate Raksha
Yes,
Bandhan.
and that is the day you receive
So
gifts, and
nice. So nice
yeah,
to know this.
beautiful, right? You receive gifts
Yeah,
from your brother, from your sisters too. So it's a great time to celebrate the love between siblings. So this is associated with purification, devotion, and of course love. Let's come to the month of Bhadrapad. Now, Bhadrapad, the moment you hear Bhadrapad, what is the first thing which comes to our mind? I'm already feeling that joy.
Ganesh Chaturthi.
Ganesh Chaturthi. Oh my God, I'm already feeling the joy. When I just think of Bhadrapad, I feel, this beautiful energy of Lord Ganesh. And the Ganesh Chaturthi starts on the fourth day in the bright half of Bhadrapad, and it goes all the way till the Chaturdashi. So, many people say Ganesh Chaturthi, Anant Chaturthi. No, Ganesh Chaturthi is the fourth day. Anant Chaturthi nahi hai, it is Anant Chaturdashi. Chaturdashi is 14. Okay.
14th.
Yeah, so on the 14th day, the immersion of the idols of Lord Ganesh, or the Visarjan, takes place, and the full moon next to it is also dedicated to Lord Ganesh, because by the time the whole Ganesh festival gets over, the full moon is the day where we are actually officially saying that the Visarjan is done, and we are grateful, and we, of course, we miss Lord Ganesh after the Visarjan, but the full moon in the month of Bhadrapad has the energies connected to Ganesh Visarjan, and it's after a beautiful 10 days festival, which is the most beautiful festival in Mumbai. If you are from Mumbai, you will know. If you have never been to Mumbai, this is a great time to come to Mumbai and experience the bliss of the energies are very powerful, in those
The
10 days.
devotion. Yeah, the devotion, the love people have, and
Yeah.
yeah,
So that is about the month of Bhadrapad. Let's look at the month of Ashwin. Ashwin is the next month, which is again, this month is dedicated to the goddess, right? Because this is the month of Navratri, the Sharadiya Navratri, which begins on the first day of Ashwin, the Shuddha Pratipada of Ashwin. And the next 9 days is all about the festival of the goddess, followed by the Dashera. And the full moon in the month of Ashwin is all about the Kojagiri Purnima. Now,
the
most in
beauty,
Maharashtra,
the beauty. Yeah, it's
yes,
very beautiful, right?
yes, yes, exactly. The full moon is very beautiful. It's very radiant, and that is the time where most of the clouds go away. So you can actually start getting the darshan of the full moon, which is called as Kojagiri Purnima. Now, there is a beautiful story about Kojagiri Purnima, which our mother used to tell us when we were children, that Devi Lakshmi comes down on earth during Kojagiri Purnima, and she asks Kojagarati. Kojagarati in Sanskrit is who is awake. And whoever is awake, she will bless you with her abundance, joy, prosperity, good health. So I remember my mother used to always say, it's Kojagiri Purnima, don't go to sleep. Devi Lakshmi is going to come and she's going to ask you, who Kojagarati? Kojagarati. This day is a day also dedicated to the powerful healing energies. It is said that if you keep your medicines, this is the modern way of thinking, because in the olden days it was the jadi booties or the herbs. But now, if anyone is sick in the family, you can keep your medicines out in the moonlight, receive the moonlight energy, because the moonlight energy has healing power. And this is a very powerful day. This day, most of us, we offer masala doodh or masala milk to Devi, and we drink that as a prasad. It's considered as a very powerful day for healing energies and for connecting to the energies of Devi Lakshmi, because like I said, Ashwin month is all about Devi energies. Initially, it is Durga, then it is Saraswati Pujan on Dashera, and then it is Lakshmi, because the new moon of the month of Ashwin is the powerful Deepavali festival, right? So this month itself is very auspicious, and it's a great time for the Chaitra Navratri. So the full moon in the month of Ashwin is Kojagiri Purnima. Okay. Let's go to Kartik. Now, Diwali has, we have Diwali in between the full moon of Ashwin and between the full moon of Kartik. There is a Deepavali festival. The
Which is
Kartik
on
Purnima,
new moon day.
which is on
Deepavali
a new
festival
moon day.
on new moon, no?
Yes, because new moon is dedicated to Goddess Lakshmi. New moon is Goddess Lakshmi's day. It is said that she was also born on the new moon. So new moon is always dedicated to Goddess Lakshmi. But okay, we are going to talk about now the Kartik Purnima, which is also called as Tripurari Purnima. That was the day where Lord Shiva, he smashed the Tripuras, or the three planets which were created by a demon named Tarkasur. And then Tarkasur, he was doing that, and later on his son of Lord Shiva, Lord Skanda or Lord Kartikeya, he killed Tarkasur the demon. But on Tripurari Purnima, Lord Shiva destroyed the Tripuras. That's why it is called as the Tripurari Purnima. And this is also celebrated as Dev Deepavali. In south of India, usually it's a big festival, because I don't know exactly the name of the festival, what is it is called in South India, but this Dev Deepavali is a very powerful time for the full moon, and it's a very radiant, beautiful energies of that day too. After Kartik come Margashish. Now Margashish is again another auspicious month, and on the full moon in the month of Margashish, it is celebrated as the birthday of Lord Dattatreya, also called as Datta Jayanti. Again, beautiful vibes, because Margashish is also about wisdom, about Goddess Lakshmi's energy. But this is particularly the full moon in the month of Margashish is associated with Datta Jayanti. Now, the month of Paush. Now, Paush is considered as a month where we do not do many activities. And if you see why, the scientific reason, it could be because it's the month of cold. It's where the weather gets very cold, especially in the northern parts of India. So in the Paush, usually the Purnima doesn't have any specific celebrations. However, this is also where we celebrate end of the year. So this is mostly also the end of the year season, because Paush is typically between December and January. The month of Magh, right? Currently, we are in the month of Magh, right? So here is exactly where the spiritual cleansing happens. And the Magh Purnima is associated with, again, it's the month of Magh itself is the month for Mahashivratri, right? Because just before the month of Magh ends, the Shivratri is. So again, the month of Magh, the full moon of Magh is associated with Lord Shiva. And do you know, in our native town in Goa, where our ancestors came from, they have this palki in the temple of Lord Shri Mangesh, who is the form of Lord Shiva. And Magha Purnima is where the Mangeshi palki takes place. And it's a very beautiful day to celebrate your devotion to Lord Shiva. Many people will not know that, but if you come from a background like us, where we are GSBs from Goa, there Magh
Wow.
Purnima is a very big celebration. Magh month itself is a very big celebration, but especially with Lord Shiva's form as Mangesh, as he is known in Goa, Magh Purnima is celebrated. And finally, we talk about Falgun. This is another favorite festival of all of us, which is the festival
Yeah.
of Holi. Yes. And this is a great, this is again dedicated to Lord Krishna and Radha, because the devotion to Lord Krishna, because Holi is always associated with Krishna. If you see most of the paintings of Lord Krishna to show Holi and Lord Krishna with Radha. So
Mm.
Falguna is a beautiful time to celebrate the Holi festival. It is also where officially we end the year, because of course the year ends on the new moon, but officially we are moving into the hotter season of the year in India. So Holi is all about moving into the hotter season. Holi Purnima, on the day of Holi Purnima, you light a bonfire and you just let go of everything which does not serve you. And here again in Maharashtra, the Holi Purnima is again a big festival where we light bonfires and we shout Holi Re Holi, and we eat something sweet called as Puran Puri. So yeah,
The
these are the,
actual holy day, the day
yeah,
of Holi, and then Ranga Panchami, like when you play colors
yeah.
and so it that takes place after the
Yes,
Holi.
after the full moon. Yes, yes, yes.
After the
So
Holi.
again, talking about our traditions, because in Goa, the goddess, our Kul Devi, from the day of Holi Purnima, from the day of the
Yeah.
bonfire till the fifth day, every
Till
day
the
she is
15th.
dressed in white.
Yes. Yes. So there is the different days have different significance. So one
Yes,
day play with only water, one
yes,
day play with the dust, the dry dust. One day it is wet, and
yeah,
then Ranga Panchami, which is the fifth day, it is that one day is only with red
Panchami.
gulal. Ranga
Yes,
Panchami is with all colors. I think
yes,
that's why it's
yes,
celebrated 5 days, a week
yes,
long,
exactly. And
after.
yeah, and in Goa once I had gone with our parents, and we went on 2 days before Ranga Panchami, and we did not know what was, like, I did not know. My parents were aware because they had been there before. But on the day of the Panchami, they took goddess out in a palki, and there was a lot of display of colors there. It was such a beautiful celebration, something I'd
Yeah.
never seen before. It was so
Well,
nice. And she is dressed in white, and it's a beautiful time to celebrate. So, Paul, see, we are talking about the full moons because many people say that, oh, is full moon and new moon a myth or is it real? Because right now,
yes.
a lot of influencers, a lot of spiritual practitioners are talking about the full moon, new moon, and they are talking about it as if there is something to be scared. But the reason we decided to make this podcast was to tell you that full moons and new moons are beautiful times of the year. Take in that energy, sit, pray, meditate. If you want, fast, because I've also seen that, if you
Mm.
fast on full moons and new moons, it's always considered a good thing. It's a good detox for the body. So, another one more thing I got reminded. There was a talk by Sadhguru where he said that before we had the colonization and the invasions in India, we used to have holidays on the full moon and new moon, because that was the
Mm.
time people would celebrate,
And
people
so
would rest.
perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was what I heard from Sadhguru. And he said that, now the globally the world is going towards Sundays as holidays. But honestly, we don't need a Sunday holiday. For us, the holiday should be actually on full moon and new moon. And I was like, this is exactly what I feel, because there are full moons and new moons. I feel that, oh wow, there is so much. Sometimes, you just want to
It is,
celebrate.
right? I mean, you need some to blow off your
Yes,
steam, or you need to rest, or you need to
absolutely.
recover or
Yeah.
relax. So those
Yeah.
2 days are the best days. Correct. Wow.
So that was a very beautiful talk by Sadhguru. If I have the video, I will maybe share with all of you. But yeah, so every moon has its personality, and our ancestors, I think our ancestors were way more smarter than we are. And everything which was
Yeah.
made about traditions and festivals is actually about science.
It's
Because
science.
Sanatan is very scientific, and
Yes.
what our ancestors put was everything was very scientific. So, they
Yes.
associated it with the mind, with the tides, with everything, and they realized that this is why the festivals were made, and each of the full moon has a significance. Wow. I had so much fun talking about this. Thank you for
Ashwini,
asking that question.
no, but Ashwini, so what about Western traditions? Because we often hear these things also,
Yes,
snow moon, harvest
yes,
moon, wolf
yes,
moon,
yes,
pink
yes,
moon. Okay, so can you
yes,
share something?
yes. So in Western folklore, two full moons were named after nature cycles. Now, I did some research on this before we we did this podcast, and I made a note of it because, of course, the Vedic wisdom is something we know because we have always heard it from our grandparents, from our
Yeah,
dad.
brought
But
up
I'm going,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, different cultures, yet you can say both honor nature and same cosmic rhythm totally.
Mm,
So let's
mm,
start with the full moons of 20, of the according to the Western
mm,
calendar, right? So
mm,
the January one is called as the wolf moon. Now I did some research on this, and I
mm.
started reading about this. Maybe I will read more and learn more about this. February moon is called as the snow moon. March moon is the worm moon. April moon is the pink moon. May is the flower moon. Um, okay, so there are two full moons in the month of May. The first one, which is on May 1st, is the flower moon, and the one on May 31st is the blue moon. Okay, because they say when there are two full moons in the same month, the second becomes a blue moon.
Blue moon. So
Then
once in a blue moon, that
once in a
phrase
blue
is
moon. Yes, perfect. Then strawberry moon is on June 29th. The July one on July 29th is called as the buck moon. August 28th is sturgeon moon. September 26th is the harvest moon. October 26th is the hunter's moon. November 24th is called as the beaver moon, and December 23rd is called the cold moon. Now, these are the things which I just read about and studied about. If anyone also, because there are multiple more names to these two, because there is one Native American theory and there are two different ones. So this is what we have
snow
found.
moon. I heard of snow moon also, which
Yeah.
must be the
So
cold moon, I think.
snow moon happened on 1st of February.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
recently.
just
Yes.
last one, yes. On
Yeah,
1st
yeah.
February was the snow moon, and yeah. But this is very interesting and very beautiful how all cultures have the same
Yeah.
kind of.
And all cultures honor nature, right? That's
Yes,
the
exactly. Exactly. And that's how it is, that's why I always say our ancestors were way more smarter than us. And whether it is across the world, I'm sure they were more tuned um to the rhythms of the nature. Right. So yeah.
and now we are beginning something special, right?
Yes, 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 yes. So, starting this month, we will be gathering for guided meditations every full moon and every new moon.
Yes.
Yay! Are you excited?
Very, very excited.
So, what will be these sessions will focus on? So, the full moon sessions will be more about emotional release. We will also do gratitude meditations, expansion, spiritual expansion, also manifestation. Whereas the new moon meditations will more be about intention setting, also letting go of what doesn't serve you. We will also be talking about the power of silence and resetting your energy to something new. So these will be guided meditations, and what we will be doing is we'll be sharing the details very soon with all of you if you would wish to join for these. And there will be very nominal charges for these meditations, and we are planning to also make donations from these, whatever people pay for this, we will be using this to donate for some spiritual cause or food donation or annadanam, something of that sort. So we intend to start it from this month, and we are super duper excited. Are you super excited, Anaga?
Very excited. Amazing.
Wonderful. So should we do a sample quick exercise to show what kind of, like, I'm going to
Yeah.
just give a taster, you can say. You know how in those ice cream shops they give you a spoon of that.
Yes, like that.
Okay. So let's
Okay.
do a quick maybe I can take the full moon and you can take a new moon. Maybe we both can take
Sure.
it. Should we
Yes,
do that? Okay.
yes.
So let me do the full moon. So a gentle reminder, close your eyes, sit comfortably, breathe, relax and center in your body. And imagine a silver moonlight bathing you in clarity. and release everything that feels heavy at this moment. Put your hands on your heart and you may even whisper inwardly, I am aligned with divine timing. You can even feel your heartbeat. You can feel this beautiful energy around you. Be in this energy for a couple of seconds. Whenever you're ready, open your eyes.
It's very beautiful, very quick. Very beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. And maybe you can go next. And I'm ready to receive.
Okay. So now in new moon, we are going to start with intention, right? So sit in stillness, close your eyes, relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, breathe in deeply, breathe out deeply. Focus on your breathing. Observe each breath coming in, going out, and feel the quiet darkness. Now plant a seed of intention in your heart. It could be anything relating to your work, your personal life, something which you want to achieve. Hold on to that thought and say softly in your mind or aloud, I trust new beginnings. Once done, come back to the here and now. And with the next deep breath, slowly open your eyes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashwini.
Thank you so much. It was really wonderful.
And thank you for this wonderful knowledge and the information you have given us. It was deeply illuminating. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And what I like about when we talk about the moon is the moon teaches us that change is natural, right? And it also
Yes.
teaches us that expansions and contractions are sacred, right? So nothing is permanent, everything is changing all the time. Every time there is a dark night, there is also a full moon night which is happening. The moon is a natural reminder to us that good or bad times are not going to last forever. So stay in the moment, make most of it. And when we align with the lunar cycles, life starts flowing very gracefully. So the moon is a reminder of all of that.
And so beautiful. So true. Yeah, so true. Thank you, Ashwini. And to all of you, please join us on our upcoming moon meditation circle. And until next time, stay aware, stay aligned, and stay luminous.
Stay
Thank you.
luminous. How beautifully said is that? Yes, thank you, Anagha. And for all of you who are looking forward to join us for the full moon and the new moon meditations, they will be on Zoom. So you can take the meditations from anywhere in the world, irrespective of which part of the world you are in. And you can just receive the meditations with us on Zoom. If you are interested, you can drop a line below in this chat as well, or you could send us a WhatsApp on our WhatsApp message or an email. All the details will be shared below. And thank you so much for being a part of our audience when it comes to the Unicorn podcast. And it's indeed a joy to meet you all. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.